I wanted to make a video about the importance of diet, obviously, during any chemotherapy, or even if you've just been diagnosed with cancer, or just, I mean, in general, diet is quite important, and a lot of people are given the wrong information, so I thought I'd just make a quick video about it. Since I've started my chemotherapy, I've been on a very strict diet regime. For anyone that knows me, you know that even before, for the last couple of years, I've been very, very strict with my diet in terms of health. Because I regularly used to go to the gym 6 times a week. I used to do Krav Maga, which is a type of martial art. Um, health and fitness were very important to me, and I've been very strict with my diet, and I'll get to why that's been so important in a bit. But I mean, when you are having chemotherapy, it does affect your body in a lot of ways, and I mean, food is probably the best medicine for anyone, and it's one of the most important things you need to follow. So I mean, in terms of what I do, now that I'm obviously going through the chemotherapy, I'm eating no dairy. Dairy tends to block up your intestines and your colon. So when you're having any other nutrients, if your intestines are blocked and your large intestine especially, which is where all the nutrients are absorbed, that your body won't be able to absorb them as efficiently because it's all blocked from the dairy. Uh, Human bodies in general find it hard to process dairy, so especially since chemo is doing so much to your digestion, chemotherapy is not really good for digestion anyway. It's better to just try and keep it as unclogged as possible. Chemo is also very acidic to the body, and a lot of people, most people I'd say, have a very acidic diet. So what you need to do is obviously balance it with a high alkaline diet. So I'm eating no acidic food whatsoever. So I'm not having tomatoes, fruit, anything citrusy, anything with any type of acid in it, vinegar, etc. None of that. It is quite hard because you'll find when you start looking at ingredients or looking at recipes or foods that you just eat in general, a lot of them do have something acidic in there. So it is quite hard, but again, you need to you need the alkaline to balance with the the acidity of the chemo. Um, so what I do tend to eat is a lot of I have like brown rice. I have vegetables which are alkaline, so a lot of green veg. Just yeah, nothing acidic really. Sugar, sugar feeds cancer. Cancer loves sugar. If you give cancer sugar, it's like giving it to a kid. It will grow and grow and grow. So no sugar, no sweets, nothing with sugar in it. I have to use alternatives, which I'll speak about in a minute. But yeah, so nothing sweet, nothing with sugar. That's another reason why fruit is not that great, just purely because that sugar and acidity depending on the fruit. I'm not having fat. I'm trying to limit my fat, so the fat I do have, it comes from other places, so I don't eat like normal olive oil or anything like that. Cancer loves fat. I'm not having any wheat products, so not rice or anything. If I do have rice, like I said, I have brown rice. If I do need to eat anything with flour in it, I use spelt flour. Spelt is another type of grain. Um, I mean, I'm just using alternatives instead of what I am actually allowed. So for sugar, I use, for example, organic agar syrup or cold pressed honey. Um, Everything I eat is organic, just because there's so many chemicals in food nowadays. It's best while you're having chemotherapy, because you're having so many chemicals in you already, try and keep it out of the food. Have organic food. It is quite expensive. Um, I won't lie, it is very expensive, but at the end of the day, you can't put a price on your health. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer and are having chemotherapy, it's not even health, it's your life you're putting a price on. Um, so, I mean, what I do tend to eat, I'm allowed to eat certain meat. I'm allowed to eat chicken and some fish. I'm allowed to eat fresh water fish, not saltwater fish. Um, I'm only allowed to have meat and stuff. I should only be having it about 2 days a week at most, purely because chemotherapy kills a lot of your enzymes, and meats tend to take a lot of enzymes for your body to process them and break them down, which it won't obviously be able to do, so it will just sit there and again clog your colon up, which is what you should be avoiding. The reason I mean, there's a lot more I do and don't do. I mean, if you do want to know any specifics, because I could go on about it all day, if you do want to know any specifics, just send me a message or leave a comment and I'll be more than happy to answer. The reason I wanted to make this video is because a lot of people are given the wrong advice, especially by the NHS, about what they should eat and what they shouldn't during chemotherapy. The NHS will tell you, eat anything and everything. Anything you fancy, whether it's a burger, chips, pizza, whatever, junk food, chocolate, sweets, have it. They will tell you this because their aim is to keep your weight up. When you're going through chemotherapy, you are very likely to lose weight. Even I've lost weight. I've lost 1.1 kilos in the last month. It's just something that happens. It's one of the side effects of it. But in order to keep your weight up, they will tell you to eat anything and everything because that's their only concern. They want you to have that healthy weight while you're trying to fight the cancer. But I mean, it's very poor advice because the things they're telling you to eat are actually helping the cancer win. So it doesn't make sense to me. It's not actually helping kill the cancer. See, because what the NHS's plan is right, you've been diagnosed with cancer, so we're going to treat you now. We don't care if the cancer comes back in the next 5 years. If it comes back, we'll treat you again. But we're just going to get rid of it now. So they're trying to temporarily fix you, in a sense. They're not looking long term and thinking, right, we're actually going to try and stop this coming back and avoid it happening to you again. Whereas when, personally, I have cancer now, I want to beat it and I want it gone and I don't want it coming back. And because I don't want it coming back, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. If I need to do this strict diet, I will do it. It's a few months of suffering and eating horrible food that I don't enjoy, but in the long term it will be worth it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still have my cheat days, or not even cheat days, I have my cheat meals where I'll eat something bad just purely because at times you just need it to help boost your morale. But I'm trying to stick to it as much as I can. But yeah, I mean, the NHS, I mean, I went to the hospital the other day to get my hand checked out and I saw a nurse telling a man, right, anything you have water with, replace it with milk. Start having milk with everything. And if you can, have a lot of cream. Like, the nurse was telling this man to have cream and milk, and he was happily like, yes, that's fine, I'll do it. Just because that's what the doctors are telling them. I mean, people will do whatever the doctor says blindly without questioning it. Milk and cream are not good for you if you're having chemotherapy. I mean, I don't know what type of chemotherapy he was having, what type of cancer he had, what stage he was at. Nothing, but that's not the point. The point is dairy is not good for you, especially if you're having chemotherapy. So why this nurse was telling this man to do this, I don't know, but that's what they do. I mean, the way I see it is once you're diagnosed with cancer, the NHS say, right, this person's dead. They're already dead. We're just going to try and keep them alive as long as possible. I don't see it like that. I don't think cancer is written, right, you're pretty much dead, you're going to die soon. No, it's just an illness that can be treated. I mean, when someone gets a cold, you don't say, right, this person's dead, we'll just try and keep him alive as long as possible. I know cancer and cold are completely different, but it's the same concept. You get ill, you have a treatment, and you get better. They shouldn't be looking at it like that, and it does annoy me quite a bit. Because so many people around the world are given the wrong advice by medical professionals. They're meant to be professionals, and people will blindly follow it just because they think, right, the doctor's told me to do so. Look into it yourself. I mean, there's so many things on the internet about diets during chemotherapy, what to eat, what not to eat. I mean, like I said, I could go on about it all day, but I don't want to make the video too long. It's just something I thought I'd try and tell people about, because not a lot of people actually know about it, and it is quite important to you. Obviously, beating any type of cancer, I mean, food is the best medicine. You are what you eat is one of the most truest things. And like I said, people that know me, for the last 3 years, I've eaten so healthy. And the reason I find it so important, and the thing that actually opened my eyes to it, was the only thing I think that kept me alive for so long with cancer is my diet. Because if you've seen my other videos, I've said previously, I had this cancer for 2 years and I didn't know about it. But it didn't really grow that much inside me, just purely because of my diet. Now, once I got diagnosed and I had a biopsy, I wasn't going to the gym. And I thought, right, I'm starting treatment in about a month, so I'm going to enjoy this month as much as I can. So the last month before I started my chemotherapy, I said, forget my diet, forget gym, I'm just going to enjoy myself. So I was going out every day, I was eating burgers, pizzas, drinking alcohol. I was just enjoying myself. And in that 1 month, the size of my tumours grew more than they did in 2 years. I'm not even exaggerating. They grew so much in that 1 month of me just eating crap than they did of 2 years of me eating the healthiest foods. I mean, that's how important food is. So if you imagine I had the diet I had in that month, which was purely unhealthy foods, if I did that for 2 years, I would have either been dead or my cancer would have been terminal. So it's so important. I can't stress how important it is, because the diet is the only thing that I think kept me alive for 2 years, or stopped me from having terminal cancer. So I mean, once you've been diagnosed, I don't know. I personally would look into it myself. It's just, I know that there's a lot of bad advice being thrown out there, so I thought I'd try and open people's eyes to it. Again, like I said, if you do want to ask me anything specific, feel free. I'm more than happy to answer. But yeah, I just thought it's something I should put out there. Apart from that, yeah, got chemotherapy soon. Got my 4th session. It's going a lot quicker than I thought, but I'll make another video talking about that in the future anyway. I just wanted to talk about the whole diet thing for now. But hopefully it's opened people's eyes, and yeah, just make sure you are careful about what you eat, whether you're ill or not. It's what you're putting in your body that you're going to get out at the end of the day. So yeah, just try and have a healthy diet, people.